Hello and welcome back to Wildcat Basketball Recap. I'm Matthew Coronado alongside Davis Johnson, and there was a lot of games this week, Davis. What are we looking forward to?
Well, the Northwestern men's basketball team took their show on the road as they faced Rutgers over the past weekend at Rutgers, and then they traveled to Champaign to take on the fifth-ranked Illinois Fighting Illini. Well, for the women's team, they only had one game. They played at home versus Nebraska, and unfortunately, their game against Ohio State was postponed due to coronavirus issues. So only one game for women's basketball, so we got 3 games on the docket today.
Sounds good, Davis. Let's see what the results of those games were, starting with the men.
Let's get these highlights started off with the men's side. Northwestern on the road in the Gothic uniforms, taking on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights in Piscataway, New Jersey. Northwestern looking to snap a now 10-game losing streak against the Scarlet Knights. We'll start off with a bang. Ryan Young skip past the corner. Anthony Gaines sizes up, drains a triple. He would score 9 points in the first half, 11 points on the game. That's the most he scored all year this year in the first time in double figures. Here, Paul McKay, nice spin move on Boo Buie. Finds Cliff Amorier, the McDonald's All-American, with the dunk. Northwestern got off to a hot start, but Rutgers would soon climb back into this game. And look at this finish by Miles Johnson. One-handed slam over Ryan Young. He just reached that big pop and slammed that ball down. And now, late in the first half, Rutgers up 3. Chase Hadish finds skip past the Miller Kopp. He drains the 3. He's been struggling, but he drains the triple right there. And then, late first half, Jacob Young, short on the triple. Ron Harper gets the rebound, dunks it. Now let's go to the second half. Northwestern finds themselves down 9. Boo Buie says, I'm going to pull up. And he just drains a triple in transition. No fear from the point guard. But Rutgers will continue to keep their lead thanks to guys like Geo Baker. He sizes up Chase Hadish. Step back, triple, gets it to go. Geo Baker did that a couple times last game against Northwestern. He's known for those step backs. And then towards the end of the game, Northwestern trying him out to come back. Jacob Young with the rack attack against Chase Hadish. That would just about seal it for Rutgers as they go on to win 64-50. Northwestern drops their 11th straight game and gets swept in the series against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights.
Northwestern travels to Champaign to take on the fifth-ranked Fighting Illini of Illinois. Northwestern looking to snap an 11-game losing streak, while Illinois looks to pick up their 6th straight win in Big Ten play. Illinois getting off to a very hot start in the first half, as Georgie Bajanisvili gets the hook shot to go over Ryan Young. Illinois going up 13-4 early. Later on in the first, shot clock winding down. Chase Hadish drives, spins, step back jumper, knocks it down at the buzzer. Illinois leading by as much as 18 in the first half, but Northwestern would trim the lead late as Boo Buie drives, hits the N1 float over Trent Frazier. Late in the first, Northwestern putting up multiple shots, can't get any of them to go, but Chase Hadish stays with it, gets the punt back dunk. Illinois leading 38-26 at the half. In the second, Anthony Gaines with the steal, feeds it to Hadish, knocks down a 3. Hadish with 22 points for the night, cutting the lead to single digits. Northwestern able to stay within 10 for most of the second half. Pete Nance with the 3 from the top of the key over Kofi Coburn. Late in the second half here, crunch time, Chase Hadish with the beautiful step-back jumper, cuts the Illinois lead to 2. But Ayo Dosunmu knocks down the 3 over Hadish, and the best closer in college basketball pulls up deep with 42 to go, seals the win for the Illini. The Cats will compete in the second half, but Illinois will prevail as Northwestern drops its 12th straight. Illinois sweeps the season series.
Welcome to a brand new segment on Wildcat Basketball Recap. Today we have buy or sell because, let's be honest, Northwestern men's basketball just lost 2 more games, so what is an analyst going to tell you? I think you already need to know what you need to know. So we're going to play buy or sell, a new game in which we discuss players and coaches from men's and women's Northwestern's basketball, and we decide whether we should buy or sell on their recent performances. So, Matthew, with that, I'll let you lead off. Who you have first for us today?
All right, so first in my sell category, a little bit of a surprising pick, actually. It's going to be Veronica Burton from the women's team. She's had a really great year, but her past couple of games have been just not herself. She shot 2 for 7 against Michigan State, 1 for 9 against Rutgers, 2 for 12 against Nebraska, and 1 for 8 against Wisconsin. The one highlight, though, about Veronica Burton recently has been her free throw shooting. So if you want a silver lining, there is that. But on the overall, looking at her game right now, it's a little down. So I'm going to sell Veronica Burton. Davis, what's your first pick?
Well, I'm going to counteract your sell with a buy. I'm going to buy stock in Paige Mott. She's recently been inserted into the starting lineup over the past few weeks due to the injury of Courtney Shaw, and she has done nothing but continue to improve throughout the week. She scored a career high 12 points this past week against Michigan State. She's continued to see an increase in minutes, and she's continuing to battle on the glass. So she's continuing to improve, even though she's a true freshman, along with Anna Morris. But Paige Mott's going to continue to get better and better with the experience. So I'm going to buy Paige Mott and count on her to improve as the year goes on, especially with no Courtney Shaw back in the lineup.
I like that pick. And looking over to the men's side now, I'm going to take a pick of Chase Audige, and I'm going to buy his stock right now. He's been scoring fairly well, had 22 against Illinois and 19 against Indiana. He's a great player to spark energy with the team. He gets fast breaks going, creates turnovers, and I really just like the way that he plays the game right now. And I think this men's team really needs that because sometimes their offense can get a little stagnant. So I'm going to be buying Chase Audige.
Well, speaking of stagnant, I'm going to sell stock in Miller Kopp. Unfortunately, like you said, Chase Audige has been really active in the scoring column. In fact, against Illinois, he scored 22 points. He was really a big factor in the second half. But Miller Kopp hasn't scored in double figures over the past 4 games. His season 3-point percentage has dipped to 36%. And you may say it's pretty good, but he shot 39% last year. And that percentage was in the low to mid 40s percentage the entire year this year. He's been in a big time slump. He hasn't been a big factor in the game plan. When he has had his opportunities, he hasn't been able to convert. So I'm going to sell stock in Miller Kopp, unfortunately, but hopefully he can get back on track before the season ends.
I like that pick. But to get back into the positive here, I'm going to buy in Ty Berry on the men's team. And this is a little bit more of a step back, kind of looking at the overall picture for him right now. He's a true freshman, of course, and I think he has a lot of potential. And when he's on the floor, I think he makes a lot of his minutes. He's been getting almost a steal per game, even though he's only playing about 10 to 15 minutes. He hits a 3 or 2 in any given game. So I'm going to buy the stock in Ty Berry right now, and I think he's going to be able to contribute a lot more to this team in the future.
And with a lot of Northwestern players, namely Miller Kopp, struggling from behind the line, they're going to need Berry shooting even more as the season goes down to the wire here. But for my final pick, I'm going to have to sell on Coach Chris Collins. I think most people have sold all their stock on Chris Collins, but I'm going to sell even more just to be petty. Look, you've lost 10 plus straight games, three straight years in a row. I mean, I know Northwestern plays in a loaded Big Ten conference, but that's pretty hard to do. It's a pretty bad feat to accomplish. So they just don't know how to win. They're competitive in a lot of games they play, which means they're talented, but they haven't been able to win any of them throughout the past 3 years after their NCAA tournament berth. So I'm going to continue to sell stock on Chris Collins, unfortunately, and hopefully he can turn around. But right now, it's not looking good.
I have to agree with you. Chris Collins right now, it's not a great look, but we'll see if he can turn it around for the men's team. But now we're going to look to the women's team and get to their highlights right now.
The Wildcats are back at home in Welsh Ryan taking on the Nebraska Cornhuskers after a tough loss to Rutgers just a couple days before. They're looking to bounce back. Early in the first quarter, Jordan Hamilton will get the ball back here from Sydney Wood. She sizes up this 3, puts it away. She'd have 10 on the night with 10 boards to make a double-double. Lindsey Pulliam, her signature shot, it goes. She was the leading scorer for the Cats with 22. Now Nebraska, that's Annika Stewart in the post, sizing up Anna Morris. She takes advantage and gets that post move and shot to go. Nebraska passing it around the perimeter down to Ashley Scoggin. She gets that one to go. The assist from Isabel Bourne. Ruby Porter to the corner. Puts that 3 up. Bang! Nebraska up by 5 now. Veronica Burton is blocked by Isabel Bourne, who was the leading scorer for Nebraska. And they would not be able to recover from that. Northwestern loses this game 64-71, and will take on Wisconsin Badgers at home in their next game.
So unfortunately, both the men's and women's teams went winless on the week. So therefore, both men's and women's combined for an 0-3 record this week. Matthew, what do we look forward to for next week's show?
Next week, the men are going to be taking on Wisconsin. They are ranked 21 at home. Then they'll be on the road versus Minnesota. And for the women, they'll be also taking Wisconsin on at home, and then they'll be on the road against Illinois. The women are going to be looking to snap their 2-game losing streak. And of course, the men trying to get that first win in many, many games, upwards of 10 now. So we'll have to see if they can do it.
Well, we are winding down towards the end of the regular season, but yet another action-packed episode coming up next week. Thank you guys for tuning in to Wildcat Basketball Recap. For Matthew Coronado, I'm Davis Johnson. See you next week.